Hi everybody. Well, we're revisiting a planting we did, I think it was late July, or this was early August. This was phase 2. And in earlier YouTube, in early August, July, you saw phase 1 down below. And we got a beautiful view of the lake, a very healthy view because it's peaceful, quiet. It's November 12th or 13th, I'm not really sure, probably the 13th, it's Monday. And I wanted to take you through the patterns on the top area of the garden we laid out. We have similar plantings, but yet they're different. And what's different too is the way the patterns are mingled together. So you'll see similar plants, but mingled together in a much different way. So let me start with the stairs area here. I put a grouping of penstemon hybrid dark towers with geranium tiny monster. That'll fill that area, and the dark towers will fill that. And then I've mixed Veronica Very Van Gogh with Calamaris integrifolia Daisy May. Then I have a block of Amsonia butterscotch. I really like the fall color on butterscotch. And the narrow leaves maintain an even green. Sometimes Hubrectii turns a little brown in the summer, a brownish tint to it, or totally brown in the summer. So I don't use Hubrectii that much anymore in our region. It doesn't mean it won't perform well in other regions. Then I've got phlox, true blue, mixed with Perovsky, a little spire, a group of Echinacea alba, one of Brent's plants from Intrinsic, Milk and Cookies, Eupatorium. I like the dark foliage contrasting the moments and shades of green here. This is Sprabolus aroides. Ever since I've grown this plant from seed about 9-10 years ago, I've really enjoyed the blue textured foliage, the fact that it blooms in June, and it has that very soft beige aging flower through the summer. Very nice, kind of like this Champsia, but looser gold towel. And again, I have Very Van Gogh mixed through this, so it carries Very Van Gogh is drifting through the Calamaris, pick up Very Van Gogh here drifting through the Sprabolus aroides, a group of Salvia wisui, Liatris spicata, actually scattered all the way down, going through Anemone Honorine Jobert, and then going through Perovsky, a little spire. And in the back is Molinia transparent. The front then is another group of Amsonia butterscotch. I got Brent's nice introduction to Stakey Summer Crush. It's going to be slightly taller. We moved to Monarda Bradburyana, a block of that. More Calamaris integrifolia, the Daisy May. Another group of geranium, tiny monster. Look at the fall color. You can even see it. Well, right now it's showing a beautiful coppery red color. Milk and Cookies, Molinia, Persicaria, and Plexicollis firetail. Another group, a repetitive group of Salvia wisui, Coreopsis zagreb. Calamintha nepeta, subspecies nepeta, the non-seeding Calamintha, the only one I know that's sterile. I've tried some of the others and they reseed a little too much. Sprabolus aroides to finish off with Very Van Gogh. And what I really like I got from Pete Outoff and future plants is Phlox Dixter. There's 3 of them in here with Molinia transparent. The Dixter has a beautiful blue, and the blue changes colors within the flowering season. So you get these shades of blue, a very nice plant. That's Phlox Dixter. And again, I end it with Veronica Very Van Gogh. And I've distributed some bulbs through here. I did use their samplings. We'll put more in next fall when the planting is older. But basically I use Allium nigrum, Allium azurium. So I have nigrums just scattered through here, a big nice white flower in late May, June. And I have the Allium azurium scattered through here. And really that's about it to begin with. I have it on both sides. And I've just scattered them in key places. So the little blue golf balls of Allium azurium come up within the Monarda, within the Calamaris. It's like simple brush strokes of blue going through the patterns of plants. So that's it for this side. We'll take a walk over and we'll look at the other side and the patterns on the other side. Okay, well, we've stepped over to the east garden, and basically the plants I discussed before will have similar plants, but the patterns are changing over here to kind of represent what's here, but yet flow in a different emotional feeling. And to mention too, I've got a lot of plants on 15-inch centers, some on 18, and those are the things you do based on the growth rate, growth habit of the plant. I've discussed that in many of my shows, of putting plants together based on how you get to grow from youth to maturity. That's all about the placement and the relationships to each other based on growth rate, growth habit. For example, I've got Calamagrostis Carl Forster in the corner to give it a nice vertical look against the rocks, but I've got them almost on 2-foot centers, 20-inch centers. Where here I have Salvia Crystal Blue, I have them on 15-inch centers. Monarda Bradburyana, I've got that on 15 to 18-inch centers. And when Bradburyana knits together, it collides in a beautiful way. When those two plants, when the 3, 4, 5 plants collide, they mingle together. They don't inhibit each other, they mingle together. But you can see the daylily coming back that we dug out here. That we have to be aware of next year when we're gardening. We take the daylily out. That's part of garden care. But a lot of companies, they just don't have that plant awareness. So their crew would come out here and leave the daylilies simply thinking it was supposed to be there, which would create a distraction and actually inhibit the Monarda later from getting strong and becoming a healthy plant. So this one point shows you the value of plant knowledge and the planting style. You got to get the daylily out, and again, many crews would come out and have no idea that that plant's not supposed to be there. So plant awareness, plant of the style, having that discussion with the designer, and the designer having the awareness of how to put the plants together so they live well socially together. Okay, enough of me going on and on about it. It's so important, so important. And that's where you become the professional gardener. And by no means am I there yet. I have to add that in there. People think, well, Roy, you know a lot. I know a lot. By knowing a lot, I know how little I know. I know how really ignorant I am about plants because I have a knowledge of them. So as my knowledge gains, I still know how much I don't know and really have to still learn about plants. I think that's very special for us to understand it with everything. The more educated we get about something we love, the less we really know about it, and the more we need to find out and keep educating ourselves. I'm getting off the soapbox, and I'm going to go through the patterns with you. So here I have Crystal Blue, Salvia Crystal mingled with Allium Summer Beauty. There's another block of the Amsonia, which I really love the fall color, Butterscotch. Calamintha nepeta scattered through here, a few of them, basically to pick up the other side, where I have Calamintha nepeta on the other side. Here's that drift, and again, back to Pete Outoff. It was so important what he told me, and I'm glad I listened too, because listening is a skill. You gotta listen. He said, Roy, stretch your patterns out, and you can see how I stretched out Salvia with the Allium Summer Beauty. Stretch your patterns out. And a block of Sproutless Aroides to carry from the other side where I have Aroides. Coreopsis Zagreb, finish off with a little Allium Summer Beauty mingled in with that, so that actually stretches the pattern and combines two different plants. Block of Dark Towers, Penstemon Dark Towers. A block of Echinacea alba, backed up by one of the most durable heleniums I've ever grown, Helenium Potter's Wheel. I can't get the thing to die so far. I've had it for 3 years, and I just can't get Potter's Wheel not to do well. So that's back here. Salvia Wisui to pick up the Wisui on the other side. Persicaria plexicalis, just two, they'll spread, and you keep thinning them each year. You thin a little bit off to keep the integrity of the planting area. Eupatorium Cookies and Cream, again from Brent. Another block of Amsonia. Butterscotch. Calamiris drifted through here. Backed by a plant I collect seed from. It's Sanguisorba called Upright, because it's a very vertical Sanguisorba. And there's a lot on the market now that are vertical. I think Brent has one from Intrinsic. I can't remember the name. Future Plants has one or two now that are very vertical and about 3 to 4 feet high. Not as tall as Officinalis. So there's a lot of good Sanguisorbas to really look into. So we go to Monarda Bradburyana, another front grouping of Stakey's Summer Crush from Brent at Intrinsic. Aster Twilight, another pattern of Persicaria Firetail. I mimicked it over here. Coreopsis Zagreb. And here's a pattern I used on the other side. Very Van Gogh, Veronica Very Van Gogh, drifted through Spiralis aeroides. And that rich purple will just be through that beautiful beige flower of the Spiralis aeroides. Another group of Penstemon Dark Towers, and then Calamagrostis Carl Forster with Veronica going through it, and Agastache nepetoides, the very tall yellow-white one, very tall at the end here. So I think it'll look pretty cool. And I scattered the bulbs, so I mentioned the bulbs I scattered through before, Allium nigrum and Allium azurium, just weave them mostly through the back, because the plants by mid-June will hide the lower foliage, which is turning brown. So thanks everybody for taking this stroll with me on mid-November, and I'm anxious to see what this looks like next year. So we'll take we'll come out here in mid to late May and see how everything's progressing. Take care, and if you have questions, let me know. Questions or comments are too good. It's good to stay in communication with each other.